First, as Jessica said, Linkfluence is specializing in analyzing the social web, so blogs, forums, or the opinionated web, the Web 2.0, which is why our stance, our approach is really from the web, and we're trying to see how media is evolving, looking at the World Wide Web. And I'm not going to linger on digital convergence, but this is a place where the media tend to converge, and where borders, you were saying NPR was a radio. On the internet, it's not so much true. NPR is a player in the field, but it's not a radio. I mean, visualization tools apply on the internet for NPR fully. So what you see behind me is a map we drew last December of what we call the US political webosphere to track and monitor the debates and the conversations on the US presidential elections this year. So as you can see, and I'll try and be quick and explain how we build the map so that you can understand, we actually we are able to identify, to single out websites and to say whether they belong to what we call web territories, because not all websites pertain to the same territories. I mean, there are websites talking about cooking, talking about arts and crafts. There are other websites talking about politics, and they don't share the same space. They don't share the same territory on the internet. That is very important to analyze the conversations and to try and see how media are evolving within that mediascape. Here, for instance, you can see the political territory, and we can single out, we can draw the borders of communities within a territory. We are using social graph theories, concepts such as triad, strong links, weak links, and I'll spare you the details, but we are able to see that there are certain websites, that people, bloggers, individuals that belong to a certain community, to the liberal community or to the conservative community, and they're going to have more exchanges, more conversations within them than with their neighbors, their next door neighbors, and they're going to have more conversations inside that territory than with, say, cooking blogs. Although it's interesting to see that some media are able to do have a sort of ubiquity performance, because we have Vanity Fair that shows up here on this map somewhere, and Vanity Fair shows up on what we call the women's web as well, of course. So they're able to provide relevant information to different communities on the internet. So here, the map we drew last December is very interesting because you see that sense of community, and if you want to provide information to, well, the communities, you need to be there, you need to exchange links with them. And as you can see in yellow, we have media websites, and you find all the big names in the political field, the New York Times, the Washington Post, CNN, Fox News. What we did last December is, I think, well, it was not a mistake, but something that we've changed in our approach. We labeled media websites as they are media. And we have, on the one hand, social media websites like Daily Kos, like Michel Malkin. They talk about politics. They are within a community, either liberal or conservative. And we have the media in the middle. That's kind of what the map showed in December. We can see the divide between the media and partisan communities. Now, if we switch to the map, is that the? Yeah, that's the June map. And now in June, we've updated the map, and we can see that the borders of the divide between media websites and partisan websites has all disappeared. It's very interesting, and that's why we have come up with something that we were kind of feeling on the internet, is that media websites are becoming members of communities. I mean, you can provide information to a community or territory, but you can provide more information, more relevant information to the liberal community, because they will think that you are more relevant to them, or to the conservative community. If you take Fox News, for instance, they are clearly in the middle of the conservative community. Liberal websites point to Fox News. They say it's interesting, but they don't go there to find similar opinions as theirs. So what we came up with, the idea that media websites, whether they come from commercial ventures, and that's why what you said about public interest media is very interesting, because whether you come from a commercial venture, whether you are a pure blogger at the origin and you evolved into something larger and more important than just an individual blog, or whether you are an independent media, you can find your place on the internet, and it's not so much whether you make money, whether you don't try to make money, whether you were alone at the beginning. That matters is what community are you going to provide information with. So that's why we call them information pits or info pits, because there are true mines or silos where you can find information. In the middle, in yellow, you still have some information pits that are relevant to all the communities in that territory. And you can find, for instance, NPR, which is well located somewhere around here. to the left, a bit, just north. Yeah, we're almost there. Here we go. NPR. We have a search engine that helps us locate the website. It's much easier. And it's interesting because in December, NPR was a smaller dot, a smaller, less influential actor in the field than what it has become now in June in the political debate. So that's very interesting, and it goes back to what was being said earlier on this morning about the fact that media are becoming more than just news provider. There are archives, there are libraries, and this shows that this reflects on the map. If you build something within a territory or within a specific community, then you're going to get something in return. You're going to leverage your position to get more influence in that territory. So that's, I think, something that we can see. And what we see on the web is that the websites that are going to make it are the ones that are going to be relevant for given territories. Vanity Fair, that's relevant to the political territory and to the women's territory. That's something very interesting. They're able to provide relevant information for different categories of persons interested in different kinds of informations or conversations. So I think that's pretty much it. I'll stick to my, I think there are 40 seconds left, but I'll give it to the next speaker.